Welcome back, Cat 5 class. We're going to go over problem 4-3. Okay, so let's take a look at the 3D model. Okay, so here's what the part looks like. I'm going to turn on the edges, just make them darker. All right, so let's go ahead and open up the AutoCAD file. And once again, you'll have 3 views to complete. And let's go ahead and use the AutoCAD file I provided for you. Okay, so I'm going to go to open. And if you go to the folder and you don't see the files, chances are you are set to only see .dwt and everything else is filtered out. So let's go to .dwg, go to the folder where you have your AutoCAD files. So once again, don't forget to unzip the folder when you download the AutoCAD files. Okay, you're going to right click extract all if you haven't done so yet. Okay, so I've already done that. And here is problem 4-2. Well, problem 4-3, my mistake. We already did problem 4-2 in the previous video. All right, so let's go ahead and let's do the front view first. Now you can argue that this should be the front view, and you probably be right. Okay, in this case, the author, she chose to make this the front view. Okay, let me go ahead and change the construction layer. Make it lighter, I'll make it yellow. Oh, wrong layer. Instead of magenta, I'll go with yellow. And since we're in here, I'll make the object lines thicker so they're easier to see. And the hidden lines, make them thicker. I'm breaking the rules, right? I'm not following the standards. The ANSI or ASME standards are the ones that set up the line weights. Also the ISO, International Standards Organization, ANSI, American National Standards Institute, and the ASME, American Society of Mechanical Engineers are the ones that come up with these standards when it comes to text height, line weights, and so on, title blocks, borders, thread sizes, and a lot more stuff. Even dimensioning. Okay, so let's take a look at our front view. So let's take a look at the 3D model. And here's the front view. Okay, pretty straightforward. I think we're missing this object line. And there's no hidden lines in the back. If there are any hidden lines in the back are overlapped by the solid visible object lines, which are thicker. Okay, so it looks like all we're missing is this object line. Okay, so let's go back. And from that vertex, right, that's where the object line comes from. So let's go to the visible layer, line command. And from this corner here, I'm going to turn on object snap, turn on ortho. There it is, right click enter. Okay, and hit escape. Okay, and there's the front view, done. Okay, now let's move over to the side view. Okay, side view. Okay, so let's rotate this so we can see the right side view. And nothing seems to be missing, but if we slightly rotate, there's this brown surface down here. Now it's green. We cannot see it, but we know it's there. So we need to represent this pocket, this brown pocket. It has a depth here, and we need to represent it with the hidden line. Okay, so we're going to have to draw a red hidden line going across to represent the depth of this pocket. Okay, so let's go back to AutoCAD. So we're going to draw a red hidden line from the bottom of this pocket right here. Okay, let me go ahead and draw a red hidden line. Whoa, I accidentally turned the construction line into a hidden line. Let me hit undo. That was by accident. Hit escape. I had something selected. Okay, so let me hit escape and start over again. So red hidden line. And from the bottom of this pocket, we're going to go across. Oh, I'm in the wrong layer. Hidden layer, there it is. Okay, third time's a charm, right? Let's hope so. So from the bottom of this pocket, we're going to go across. Right click enter, and there's our red hidden line. Okay, ta-da! Hit escape to deselect. Done! That's the right side view. Let's take a look at the answer key and cheat. Okay, there it is. We got our front view and our side view. Now the top view. Okay, so we got to do that from scratch, but luckily we have our construction lines, right? Construction lines. Okay, construction lines are guidelines. If you were doing this from scratch, you would have to create your own construction lines if you chose to use them. Okay, so let's go back to AutoCAD. Okay, so we're going to make use of our construction lines. Notice the 45 always goes off the top right corner of the box for the front view. Let me make that a little bit thicker so we can see it. There it is. Hit escape. Okay, so here is the box for our top view. So let's first start from the front. Go to the visible white object layer. Go to every corner. Oh, let me just go to the extreme left point. Right click enter. Go to the next one. The opposite side, go straight up. Oh, right click enter. One too many clicks. Let me delete this. Okay, so we know that our front view is somewhere in here. Okay, so we know the length. Now we need the depth. Okay, so from the side view, let's use the line command again. White visible layer. Go to the far rightmost extreme point, extremum. Hit the 45, go across. So we know it's in here. Okay, let me hit escape. Shorten it to the correct length. There it is, right? Hit escape. Get rid of the evidence. Delete. All right, so now we're going to go to the extreme left point on this side view. Click, hit the 45, click, and go across. And now we know it's supposed to be all in here, inside this box. Right, hit escape. So let's get rid of the evidence. Delete, and shorten this to the correct length. Hit escape to deselect. This one's not the right length. There it is. Go to the next one and hit escape, and there it is. And as you can see, there's the box. So our top view is supposed to fit inside this box, which has the same length as the front view, right? It should, it's the same part, and the same depth as the side view, right? It's the same part, just looking at it from a different perspective. Okay, so let's go to ISO view. Isometric view. Let's take a look at the top view, and there it is. Okay, so in the top view, we got to draw. We already have the periphery of the top view. Now let's go ahead and take care of the rest of the object lines. And there's no hidden lines. If there are any, they are overwritten by any object lines that are over them. Okay, so let's do the top view. There it is. Notice the brown pocket once again. It starts here and it ends at the back. Okay, so we'll come back to the brown pocket. Let's take care of these object lines here where the slope starts, right? So here it's flat, horizontal, and then it slopes downward. Okay, so let's take care of those object lines. Okay, and this is where the slope starts. Okay, so we're going to go to this vertex. Use the line command. So we'll go from this vertex, go hit the 45, go across. So we know we have an object line here and another one on the opposite side. Hit escape or right click enter to deselect. We can delete this now. So we know we have an object line here and here. Okay, so let me go ahead and shorten this to the correct length. There it is. Hit escape. So there's one of them. You can see it lines up with this one. We know we're supposed to stop there. Let's draw the other line on the opposite side. Okay, notice it once again, it lines up with this vertex. It's supposed to. Okay, right click enter. Okay, so there's the object lines. Right, took care of them. There's the object lines. And now we need to draw the brown pocket. Right, looks like a chocolate brown. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so we need to draw the brown pocket. Notice the brown pocket, we have this red hidden line showing us where it starts. It starts here, right? Here it is again. We know the pocket is right here, lines up with this pocket. But here's the starting point right there. So we're going to hit the 45, go across, and that's where it starts. Okay, so let me hit escape. Use the visible object line. So this is where the pocket starts, where the red hidden line endpoint is at. Hit the 45, go across, and see this is where it starts at this point and it ends at this point here. Okay, so I'm going to go across. This is where it ends. Click and go straight up. And right click enter. Okay, there it is. Don't need this one anymore. Let's delete it. And let's shorten this one. So this endpoint is supposed to line up with this one, right? Click. There it is. Hit escape. Use the line command to close it off. And right click enter, and there it is. There's the top view. We can turn off our construction layer. Okay, let me double click to do a zoom fit. There it is. So that looks like the answer key. We roll the wheel, zoom fit. Okay, so let's take a look at the answer key, and yep, we're done. We got the top view, front, side view, everything looks good. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this. Let's go File, Save As. I'm gonna add my initials. And I'm gonna save it. And there it is at the top. It's the file with my initials. Okay, so we can end here, but those of you that want to add a title block, keep following along with this video. Okay, so we're going to add a title block and border. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up our title blocks file. So if I click on AutoCAD, it has all the recent files I've opened, which one of them is title blocks. So if I go to the AutoCAD icon, it shows you the last files that I opened. I'm going to go to title blocks. Okay, so I'm going to go with the B size, 11 by 17. If you want to use a different one, go for it. I'm going to select it, hit Control C on the keyboard to copy. Go back to the tab for problem 4-3. And I'm going to hit Control V as in Victor to locate it in the model. Let me turn on Snap. So Snap allows me to follow the grid in the background. Click, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to window capture my views and move them over. Oh, it's not that I'm shaky, it's not my age, it's I got Snap turned on and Ortho on. Now I have freedom. And it's still a little too tight. I'll leave it up to you if you want to go up to a C size or scale this down. So if you had a choice between a tight fit between your views and the title block, it's actually better to have a lot more room, a lot more space, and go up to the next one. Okay, so something like this is probably a little too tight, but I can always space things out. I can move these over to the left. Make sure you have ortho on so it stays in line with the side view. Get a little better. All right, so And obviously we would need more room later on when we add dimensions, but that'll be a whole separate chapter and different problems. All right, so you have that option, or you can do it on the layout. So I can go ahead and delete this one. Okay, I'm going to go to the Layout tab for those of you that want to add it to your sheet, just like adding a case or cover to your smartphone. So I'll go to Layout tab, and I'm going to hit Control V. It should remember that I used that title block. Control V. Oh, it's the wrong size, right? That's okay. I want to use, this is the size I want to use. So this title block and border is 11 by 17. It's for an 11 by 17 sheet. This is an 8.5 by 11 sheet. So let me change the sheet size. Right click on the Layout tab, go Page Setup Manager. There's only one layout. You can have multiple ones for different sheets. And we can go to Modify and look for 11 by 17. B size, right? If you don't see 11 by 17, go to Plot. Trick your computer into thinking you're going to use a plotter, those long, large plotters. Okay, and let's go to ANSI B size, 11 by 17. Hit OK. And close. And now we have the larger sheet. Now we can move our title block. Oh, hit Escape. I'm going to use the move command. It seems like there's something going on there with the grips overlapping. This is the problem when you make your grips larger. You tend to miss, or sometimes you get stuck in a command because your grips are too large or your object snaps are too large. Good example is polar array or rectangular array. All right, so let's use the move command. And I'm going to turn off ortho. And I'm just going to eyeball it and center it with the sheet. It's okay, just eyeball it. There it is. Okay, so now I'm going to my viewport. Okay, there's my viewport. I'm going to hit Escape. Okay, I'm going to double click inside the viewport. Double click, there it is. My viewport's active. I can tell because it tells me down here you are in model space. If I double click outside, it'll tell me, hey, now you are in paper space. You can also click on the word paper. It'll send you to model. Okay, so let's change the scale so it's 1:1. Okay, so we have 1:1 scale, and I can now center it. Okay, and I can double click outside to exit the viewport. Okay, and it's just like turning off your phone. Again, if you want to zoom inside, it's like opening a picture on your smartphone, and you can pan, you can crop, etc. Once you're done, turn off your phone, double click outside. Now we are on paper space. So if you want to paint the cover of your smartphone, make sure you are on paper space. And now we can add text. Text, the title block. And again, you want to add your name, for example. Let me turn off object snap so I have freedom to locate my text. And type in your name. Use capital letters. We use capital letters so we don't mix them up with other letters that are lowercase, right? Just so we can distinguish if we're looking at uppercase or lower, we just make all of them uppercase. Okay, and I'm going to highlight it and change it to 0.16 text height. And enter. Again, we're following the standards for the text height, the ANSI or ASME. And I'm in the wrong layer. Let's add a layer for text. Click on this icon to add a layer. I'm going to change the thickness to default, no thickness. Okay, good. Okay, so we're going to go over to the text layer. We're going to take this text, move it to the text layer. There it is. Hit escape to deselect. All right, so and you should also add a viewport layer. Since we are talking about layers, let's add a viewport layer. And again, avoid using symbols or spaces when it comes comes to naming your layer. Okay, and I'll just make it blue so it stands out. And I don't know, viewports, I guess you don't see line weights on viewports. Okay, so we're going to take our viewport, move it over to the viewport layer. Okay, hit escape. Don't see the line weight. Okay, so if you're done, then you can turn off your viewport layer. Viewport's gone. It's just hidden. It's okay. All right, so I'll let you play around with the text. Okay, so that's the end of problem 4-3. Don't forget to save your work. And if you're ready to email it or upload it into Canvas, make sure to save your work and close the file before you attach it to your email or uploading your homework onto Canvas. All right, end of video.